totally doing it like kind of Sephardic, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I think we're good. We can run the first one if you want.
Yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
The only thing I need to know, what's the one I don't have to charge for?
Misha Beira.
Where does it happen?
It happens after the May the Words, and I'll list the names of people in need of healing, so it'll be kind of obvious. Right. And then the ending one was the Debbie Friedman, Ose Shalom in F minor. Oh, you have that? Ose Shalom in right? Ose. There you go. 3, 4. Ose Shalom in Ose Shalom. Alleluia. Israel, Okay, here we got it. Hey, Misty, I do have one question. If for some reason the sermon doesn't play, we anticipate that it will, give me a heads up so I know to read it.
Okay.
So it's not just a blank, whatever.
Okay. And we are live. We're live.
Alrighty. And I will take a little break. Be right back. משוך עבדך אל רצונך, אל רצונך. ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, אב הרחמן. משוך עבדך אל רצונך, אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל, ישתחווה אל מועדתך. ידיד נפש, אב הרחמן, אב הרחמן. משוך עבדך אל רצונך, אל רצונך. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. It's so nice to be back here in the sanctuary. For those of you who may not know me, I'm Lisa Silver. I'll be leading you through the service tonight. We will hear some words from Rabbi Flip a little bit later on. We begin by honoring the light. We light these candles for our families, our beloveds, our friends, for all our relations, for those who are near, and for those from whom we feel an unwanted distance, for the newborn, for the elderly, and for all the wounded children. May the candles inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse. May their radiance pour out upon our hearts and spread light into the darkened corners of our world. Kushner writes, and so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. We sing of these messengers with the words of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlavim, HaKadosh Baruch. Bochem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlavim, HaKadosh Baruch. Bachuni Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlavim, HaKadosh Baruch. Sivkem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlavim, HaKadosh Baruch. So I'd like to say that very cool guitar that we're hearing off in the distance, Jerry Kimbrough is here off camera, but I'm always so glad to have him here with us, so thank you, Jerry. So if you would like to and are able, please rise for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgaral v'yitkara shameraba, ba'alma divrach yirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yom echon, u'v'chayer echol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmera b'maforach, v'olam ul'almei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitasem, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran belma v'imru, amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, le'olam va'ed. And if you are standing, you may be seated. We join together in the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Baruch atah smaller than the smallest seed, more beautiful than the rarest gem, who hold the mountains and oceans in your hand, who breathes us with the breath of life, and fold us in your great love, that we may open our hearts to all mankind. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We chant the words of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam lot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha l'man tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liod lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan writes, "We are not born free and equal, but are born to become free and equal. It is the goal of all social endeavor to bring about equality in the inequality into which people are born. It is the goal of spiritual endeavor to make humanity free." We sing of our freedom from slavery when we crossed over the Red Sea with the words of Micah. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamo chavai elim Adonai, Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Uflos aleinu Sukat shlomecha v'hoshienu l'man shemecha. Help us to know that you're near, that your presence is here. Let us lie down in peace every night, and when we rise in the day, keep us sheltered. Guide us by with your love and your light. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Abraham Joshua Heschel said, "The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world." V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam, b'rit olam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, odhi leolam. Beni uvein b'nei Yisrael, odhi leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafal. Beni לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. We rise for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'Nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Mechalkel Chayim b'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol be'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim ve'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kudoshim b'chol yom yihalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. If you are standing, you may be seated. We'll take a few moments right now for your own personal silent prayer. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. It's at this point in our service every week that we take a moment to think of people in our community, other people that we know who are in need of a prayer for healing, of body or mind or spirit. This week we are thinking of these people from our community: Mark Hiller, Craig Smith, Richard Hiller, Robert Nosunchuk, Terry Cohen, David Heller, Alana Fisher-Burkhart, Neil Cohen, Kara McNeely-Zappacosta, Lindsay Benjamin, Gil Given, Mary Frank, Sonia Marco, Ava Doyle, Steve Heyman, Robert Golden, Hope Springer, and Jan Sullivan Ladder. And if you are thinking of someone, please feel free to say it aloud at home. There's so much suffering in the world today. To heal our bodies and our souls, we pray to you, O God. To you, O God. We think of loved ones in their time of need, their cries for comfort, and our thoughts all lead to you, O God. To you, O God. Misha berach emotenu, Misha berach avotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and our fathers bless us too. So many people live in dark despair, and so our hearts are turning everywhere to you, O God. To you, O God. In all the prayers we pray and songs we sing, our deepest doubts and highest hopes we bring to you, O God. To you, O God. Misha berach emotenu, Misha berach avotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and our fathers bless us too. Misha berach emotenu, Misha berach avotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and our fathers bless us too. Bless us too. So as I promised earlier, we will now hear a few words from Rabbi Flip.
Good evening. Rabbi Lori joins me, Rabbi Flip, in wishing you a Shabbat Shalom. We're sorry we're not here in the sanctuary, but we wanted you to hear Miss Lisa live some of the time, too. And we'll be here in the morning for Rachel, as Rachel Dubin becomes a bat mitzvah. Mazel tov. I have a story I'd like to share. It's from a rabbi, Larry Kushner, and he calls the story Virtual Reality. So he writes, one of his sons brought home a new computer game. It's not one of those video arcade contraptions with primitive little animated characters sort of chasing one another around the screen, or didn't have spaceships shooting at alien invaders. No. It didn't even require split-second visual reflexes. It's a new breed, his kid said, called virtual reality. You play it by entering into it. Your only chance at winning is by imagining that you're actually inside the game. Instead of asking, how do I win this game? You ask, what would I do if I really lived in this world? At the beginning of the game, it's called Myst, You look at the screen and you find yourself on an island. There's a dock and a forest and buildings and stairways. The graphics and the sounds effects, they're impressive, they're convincing. There are no instructions. There are no rules. You, quote, go places by aiming a little pointing finger and clicking. And you can look up and down, you can turn around, and you can climb stairs, and you can wander all around the place. And everywhere your curiosity leads you, there are things to discover and learn and remember. There are machines you can operate, and there's a library full of books that you can open and read. And after a while, the dedicated player, they sort of learn to discover how to leave the island and go to other mysterious places. Devotees really say the game is probably played over weeks or even months. And the purpose of it all? Why, of course, to figure out what you're doing there. But to do that, you have to figure out how the place works. What fascinates me here is not yet another sophisticated and clever way to waste time in front of a computer screen. It's the concept of a game whose purpose is for the player to discover the purpose. Virtual reality, schmirtual reality. This is no game, right? What's going on here? Why am I here? Are there any rules? What are they? How does my behavior affect what is going on? On hearing all of this, a professor of English, Alan Feldman, suggested it seemed a lot like childhood. I would go further and say it seems a lot like childhood. We all find ourselves in this world, and the object seems to be to figure out what we're doing here. Unfortunately, most of the ways one thing is connected to or depend upon another thing are really not immediately apparent. If we live long enough, take enough notes, listen to those who have gone before us, we stand a chance. After all, meaning is primarily a matter of relationship. If something is connected to absolutely nothing, symbolically or linguistically or physically or psychologically, it's literally meaningless. And in the same way, if something is connected to everyone, good evening. Rabbi Lori joins me, Rabbi Flip, in wishing you a Shabbat Shalom. We're sorry we're not here in the sanctuary, but we wanted you to hear Miss Other thing are really not immediately apparent. If we live long enough, take enough notes, listen to those who have gone before us, we stand a chance. After all, meaning is primarily a matter of relationship. If something is connected to absolutely nothing, symbolically or linguistically or physically or psychologically, it's literally meaningless. And in the same way, if something is connected to everyone and to everything, it would be supremely meaningful. I suppose it would be God, the one through whom everything is connected and everything else, the source of all meaning. Religious traditions are the collected sort of rules of the game. They tell us how the world works. And if you play by them, you're rewarded, hopefully before it's time to leave. You're rewarded with an understanding of why you're here, with what is also called or referred to as the meaning of life. While this new virtual reality computer game may be infuriatingly intricate and frustrating, at the very least, I have comfort knowing that it was designed by someone. I may not be clever enough to figure out its purpose, but it does have one. Its rules can be learned. It can be completed. It has an end. Life, on the other hand, comes with no such implicit guarantee, and its time frame and playing field are literally beyond our comprehension. What if there were a virtual reality computer game that was programmed to approximate real life? If you could design such a program that would be the object, the way I see it, there are only a few rules. The first rule of the game of life, is that you cannot decide when to begin playing. One day, out of the blue, you realize that you're playing. Someone or something else determined when the game would begin. And it wasn't your parents, right? They may have known about the birds and the bees and even set out to conceive of a child, but they didn't have a clue it was going to be you. And now that they've had a chance to meet you, well, they most likely love you. And they probably have picked, almost no one else. In religious language, this means that you are a creature. Someone else made you, and you are neither its partner nor its puppet. You are its manifestation, its agent, its child. Second rule is that you cannot decide when to stop playing the game either. One day, out of the blue, you're dead. For a slogan on the box of the game of life, we could use something like I saw on that t-shirt once. It said, "Life, you're not going to make it out alive." That means there's no way you can win the game by staying in it forever. No matter how many points or toys or honors or conquests or dollars you accumulate, sooner or later, anyone, expects what they want isn't met, and the game is abruptly over. You hear a little chime, I don't know, maybe a buzzer. The keyboard freezes. The screen goes blank. The game ends without warning. Nothing you acquire or accomplish or believe will have any effect whatsoever on when the game ends. But there is good news. Dying does not mean that you lose. It's what you do before you die that determines whether or not you win when you die. Third rule, just to keep you on your toes, each player is issued apparently random, undeserved gifts and handicaps throughout the progress of the game. Figuring out why you got the combination package you did transforms all disabilities into gifts, just as refusing to figure out why you were issued what you received transforms all gifts into disabilities. Yeah, there was a saying I also heard one time that said something like, all men are not created equal. Some get dealt a full hand, a full house, others a pair of twos. The question, therefore, is not whether you deserve the hand you were dealt, but how you choose to play it. Fourth rule points out that points are awarded whenever you can discern the presence or the signature of the creator, and then act so as to help others see it too. The signature is not just in objects, but in actions and in thoughts and feelings, not just in sunshine and in happiness, but in agony and in struggle. Remember, finding the signature and then acting in such a way as to help others find it too is the only way to accumulate game points. The last rule: everything is connected to everything else. Life is supercharged, permeated, and overbrimming with purpose and meaning. Most of the time, we're oblivious to it. We go about our lives as if every event were an accident, and then something happens and we see the connection. For just a moment, it is unmistakable. And we are astonished that we couldn't see it until now. All creation, one great unity. No coincidences. Throughout all creation, just beneath the surface, joining each person to every other person and to every other thing, in a luminous organism of sacred responsibility, we discover invisible lines of connection. Now that is a game. And I'd love to make it less virtual and more real. Shabbat Shalom.
Apologize for a few moments of technical difficulty, but we will now rise for Elena. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, ateit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week, we honor the following yahrzeits. Rebecca Belzer, Morris Bookstein, Kurt Eager Sr., Eva Strauss-Fogel, Esther Abram Freeman, Pearl Kahn, Bernard Kaufman, Jerome Kimball, Alan G. Lasky, Minda Sue Lazarov, Dr. Philip Levitan, Cecil Elmo Meredith, Dorothy Newman, Dorothy Lee Ucker, Arthur Robbins, Philip Roseman, Abe Sack, Mary Shapiro, Isabel Schulmanson, Miriam Claire Silver, Dr. Lawrence Solomon, and Jacob Weisbarth. We continue mourning for Tristan Numbers, Simon Riss, Shirley Benjamin, Irene Schindler, Wendy Brooks, Fran Rachel Galante, Rita Feldman, Ellen Lesnick, Miriam Silver, Jerome Allen Averbush, Rachel Samus, Stephen Angus, Marlene Karp, Stuart Sabin, Milton Sabin, Irving Shapiro, Francis Kamenetz, David Massow, Wendy S. Sirkin, Harold Norman Miller, Edith Harris Marcus, David Levine, Judith Ruskin, Dr. Selwyn Liederman, Alan Miller, Frida Roberts, Shirley Payne, Corin Bletcher, Gloria Landsman, Helen Lubell, Harriet Bubis, Rich Moschel, Henry E. Foyer, and Bob Sirkin. We join together in the words of Kaddish Ton. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma devarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael. V'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach la'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata ta'miran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. We say zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. And if you have been standing, please be seated because we've got a lot of announcements. So, here we go. Torah study. Tomorrow, Saturday, October 10th, Rabbi shares wisdom from the Torah, now available on Zoom. Simchat Torah Havdalah, also tomorrow, Saturday, October 10th at 5:30 p.m. via Zoom. Schmooze with the current Micah leadership and meet new members. The official start of religious school is Sunday, October 11th. The learning experience will be quite different, but sign on and dive into what this religious school year has in store. Schmooze and views. Thursday, October 15th at 9 a.m., available on Zoom. Micah is partnering with Vote Early Tennessee. Cast your ballot on the Jewish Community Day of Early Voting, scheduled for October 15th. Make your voice heard. Are you Jewish enough? Second Friday of each month, join us for this Zoom monthly discussion with Rabbi Lori and Rabbi Jen Lader of Temple Israel in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, about all things Jewish. We'll explore prayer, spirituality, the nature of God, Israel, Jewish superstitions, and so much more. All are welcome. Hazmana lemevina, invitations to understanding. You are invited to join one of several guided conversation groups in which participants will engage in constructive conversations around racial reconciliation. These groups will provide a time to talk and a time to listen. Participants are invited to engage in a challenging and transformative examination of our role, current and future, regarding racial equality, starting after the High Holy Days. So that's starting soon. It's definitely after the High Holy Days. Adult B'nai Mitzvah, a journey of study with the rabbi. Master the Shabbat morning prayers and service. Learn Torah and study a subject of choice in depth. If you are interested, email Rabbi Lori. Program is scheduled to start also after the High Holidays. Jewish Film Festival. The Rabbi Goes West, hosted by Congregation Micah, Tuesday, October 20th at 7 p.m. Get tickets at www.congregationmicah.org events. I love the Jewish Film Festival, and it's kind of cool that this year it's all online, so you can see all the wonderful offerings from the comfort of your own home. Women's Circle, Friday, October 23rd at 12 p.m. on Zoom. This month's session, what do we need to do to become the 90-year-olds we someday want to be? Wow, okay. Pages 124 to 171. I guess it's from a book that Rabbi Geller has written called Getting Good at Getting Older. So she and Rabbi Lori will be sharing in the Women's Circle. It's sure to be an interesting meeting. Blessing of the Pets. This will be fun. October 25th at 12:30 p.m. on the Micah campus and on Zoom. In the past, we've had all kinds of things, goats, all kinds of pets. So bring your pet to Micah, and your pet will get a wonderful blessing. Noah public meeting, October 25th at 3 p.m. on Zoom. In keeping with our tradition of Tikkun Olam, to repair the world, we are trying to get 50 Micah members to attend this Nashville Organized for Action and Hope, that's NOAA, event. Candidates for state offices will be invited and asked to commit to action on public education, affordable housing, and racial justice. To RSVP, email Brandy, that's B-R-A-N-D-I, at congregationmicah.org. Micah Minis, this is fun, Saturday, October 31st at 10:30 a.m. via Zoom. I think that's been changed to 9:30, so be sure to check that. But it's going to be on Zoom on Saturday, October 31st Julie Greenberg and I get together on Zoom, and we will sing and dance this special Halloween edition family-friendly Shabbat experience. So come in your favorite costumes. It'll be fun. Okay, just one more. Micah is hosting the next blood drive on Sunday, November 1st. Register online at www.redcross.org under the tab Give Blood and use sponsor code CHAI, C-H-A-I. Okay, that was a lot of announcements. There's a lot of things going on at Congregation Micah. So now we will rise for a Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, נתנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Shabbat Shalom, and join us for a closing song of Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom, b'mromav Oseh Shalom, Aleinu. Shabbat Shalom.